So let's do a little team deep dive this week. Like, what team did you want to break down this week for your end? Like, what team did you like that you're like, wow, they? I want to talk about them a little bit.
The Vikings. How the
All
Vikings,
right.
the Vikings are pretty damn good. This is a team that I didn't expect to maybe be a playoff deep team. I've been higher on them in the past, but the Vikings are pretty damn good. Sam Darnold continues to have another great week. But the Vikings defense overall, I think, is just proving. Everybody's talking about the great job that Brian Flores is. He might not be a great head coach, but as far as defensive schemes, doing it with Van Ginkel, a former Dolphin player. Um, I just wanted to highlight the Vikings overall. Like on both sides of the ball, they just seem to be getting it together. I think with health, especially now, we have Green Bay. I think I forget the score of the Green Bay game today. But did Jordan get hurt today? I can't remember. Am I remembering something? But yeah, the Vikings. Yeah. The Vikings defensively have been doing pretty well, and this is definitely a team to watch out for going forward. Like this is, like I said, not a team I expected. Maybe like a dark horse. A team I expected to do well, but yeah, the Vikings. Do you have anything on the Vikings?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said last week, I didn't expect much for them at all. When I saw Sam Darnold was going to be their guy, I'm like, oof. Like maybe he might have a good, because I wasn't all right. When I first saw Sam Darnold going there, I'm like, maybe he can do something because look, you got the best wide receiver in the league. You got Aaron Jones. You got a solid coach. You're going to have a solid defense. Like maybe he won't be so bad because he was at a shithole that was Carolina and New York at the time, and Carolina still. But man, I'm with you. The Vikings, dude, 5-0. Like they're playing out of their mind right now. They're the best team in the NFC, I would say. Like who's stopping them? And to me, it was a big statement game because you won in London, so you had the long travel, and not only won, but you beat a good team in the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers, a team that's supposed to be a playoff team. And even with Sam Darnold not playing the best, obviously not like MVP level like he did the past 4 games, but they still got it done. And to me, if you can win ugly and you can win when you're not playing at your highest level, that's a sign of a good team, man. Like Justin Jefferson still got 90 yards receiving, even with Sam Darnold not playing his best. But even when your quarterback is maybe not playing at an elite level at the moment, the fact that you still have this team around him who can still keep you in games and still win and hold teams under 20. Look, I trust the Vikings to get it done. They're going to continue the streak that they're on, and they're going to play pretty damn well. I'll tell you what. I don't know what their future schedule looks like. Haven't got a chance to look at it, but I'm curious how long they can keep this streak going because I have a friend who's a Vikings fan, and he's pretty hype right now because he was coming into the season pretty low. He's like, yeah, this is not going to be much this year, but they're playing well, man. They're playing well. And
just to give a couple stats,
Vikings fan.
As of October 1st, the Vikings are leading sacks. The NFL with sacks with 17. They're tied for first in interceptions. 17
in 5 weeks. That's crazy. Yeah.
They're second in the league for rushing yards against, so they're good against the rushing game. Fourth overall with 14.8 games per game, 14.8 points per game. Fourth overall in the league, and they've allowed the fewest points in the league. Allowing only a field goal in week 1, allowing the fewest points in the first quarter. So, as far as like, opening games, you think, you start fresh off, starting the game, you're going to start fresh. You're not going to know what kind of defensive scheme you're going to go on, but they're able to stop teams from converting easy. Obviously it gets harder as the game goes on because teams are going to see your game, right? They're after every drive, they're copying, pasting, and looking at what kind of scheme you're doing, what kind of blitz package are we going in zone, man to man, whatever you're doing. So obviously defense gets harder as the game goes on, but they're able to stop teams from converting in the first quarter. So I think that's pretty good highlight for the defensive work of Brian Flores. So
yeah, I mean, if you look at last week, I mean, they had a huge lead over the Green Bay Packers. I mean, the defense gave out a little bit by letting them come back towards the end to where it got really close. But, if you're able to start pretty well, it's harder to come back from a deficit than to hold a lead. So